When you think of living legends, this man comes to mind with a career spanning over 50 years.
I'm very sure that you don't have to draw on my past experiences to formulate your conclusions, Lord Bernardo.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Sean Connery performances.
If you're going to San Francisco... Room service. This is the penthouse. You do snacks, drinks.
Number 10. Robert MacDougal, Entrapment.
You're the most beautiful crook I've ever seen.
Why, thank you, kind sir.
As Mac, Connery gets the chance to play the ladies' man some 30 years after his heyday as a sex symbol. He proves he's as witty as ever when he and Catherine Zeta-Jones attempt to pull off an art heist worth $8 billion.
And what is this stuff we are downloading?
For most of the film, it's unclear on whether she's truly working against him or with him, but half the fun is watching the sparks fly.
3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 4.
Number 9. Daniel Dravit, The Man Who Would Be King.
We've been all over India. We know her cities, her jungles, her jails, and her palaces. And we have decided that she isn't big enough for such as we.
Based on a Rudyard Kipling story, Connery's character, British Sergeant Daniel Dravit, seeks fortune in Kafiristan, a land outside the reach of the British Empire. He and his fellow soldier, portrayed by Michael Caine, convince the natives that he's a god.
They think I'm a god? A god?
The far-fetched lie is made believable by the ease of the two men's on-screen and real-life friendship.
Supposing you got killed, eh? Supposing that, where would I be at?
Won't happen again.
See it don't. And what you carrying that arrow around for?
But between that and the humor, we're on the edge of our seats to see if their secret will be discovered.
Am I a dog or a god? Haven't I put the shadow of my hand over this country? Do as I say, send for the guard. Tell them it's an order.
You ever negotiated with the Japanese before? Negotiated? Perhaps I can suggest the strategy.
Number 8. Captain John Connor, Rising Sun.
Be on time.
Throughout his career, Connery has always taken chances on roles, and this one is no exception. While critics gave it mixed reviews, fans loved watching Connor investigating the murder of a prostitute. It's exhilarating to see how he pieces together the clues from the murder scene and uses knowledge of Japanese affairs as a way to pinpoint the killer.
The Japanese have a saying, fix the problem, not the blame. Find out what's f***ed up and fix it.
Plus, his on-screen bond with Wesley Snipes is both unexpected and fun to watch.
Golf is how they do business. This is very important for what I do.
Well, I guess that makes everything all white now, doesn't it?
Number 7. King Arthur, First Night.
I am Arthur of Camelot, and I command you now, all to fight!
Not every actor fits in a period piece, but there's something about Connery that exudes a refined, grand nature. So it's no surprise he was perfect for the role of this legendary king.
There's a peace that's only to be found on the other side of war. If that battle must come, I will fight it.
And I! And I! And I!
While some of the cast struggled to look like they belonged in Camelot, Connery was commanding in every scene, and audiences found themselves rooting for his marriage and love for Guinevere, despite what the history books say.
Marry the king, Guinevere, but love the man.
I hate you.
Good. That is a perfect way to start.
Number 6. Juan Sánchez Villa-Lobos Ramírez, Highlander.
What I do know is that because you were born different, men will fear you.
This wasn't one of Connery's smash hits, but we can safely say that his portrayal of Ramírez is a major reason the movie became a cult classic. The film jumps back in time to trace Ramírez's life as an immortal, and we see how he eventually becomes a mentor to the Highlander.
You must learn to conceal your special gift and harness your power until the time of the gathering.
The sci-fi flick is different from Connery's other roles, but it just goes to show he's got range.
How do you fight such a savage?
With heart, faith, steel. In the end, There can be only one.
Number 5. John Patrick Mason, The Rock.
You're not the sort.
Let's find out.
Connery seems to be the only man that becomes more of a badass as he ages. When given the chance to play Mason, a former prisoner of Alcatraz accused of being an MI6 agent, Connery inadvertently plays a pseudo-reincarnation of his James Bond character.
I want a suite, a shower, a shave, and the feel of a suit.
This movie is less refined than his 007 days, but boy is it fun to see him kicking ass and packing heat as he attempts a reverse prison break.
You stand by the door until I open it.
I'd like to know how you plan on accomplishing that.
Through here.
Number 4. Jimmy Malone, The Untouchables.
How did you know I had a gun?
What do you want, a free lesson in police work?
Even beside a star-studded cast that features Robert De Niro and Kevin Costner, Connery has no problem holding his own. As Jim Malone, he's the tough but paternal Irish-American cop who assists Elliot Ness in his pursuit of the notorious Al Capone.
Want to get Capone? Here's how you get him. He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way. And that's how you get Capone.
Thanks to his powerful portrayal, Connery was awarded his first and only Oscar for Best Supporting Actor and earned a career resurgence as well.
Isn't that just like a wop? Brings a knife to a gunfight. Get out of here, you dago bastard!
Number 3. Professor Henry Jones, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
The quest for the Grail is not archaeology. It's a race against evil.
Indiana Jones is an iconic character, but in the third installment of the franchise, it's Connery who steals the show as the elder Dr. Jones.
Can we discuss this later?
I should have mailed it to the Marx brothers.
Will you take it easy?
Take it easy? Why do you think I sent it home in the first place? So it wouldn't fall into their hands?
In reality, the two men are only 12 years apart in age, but the chemistry between Harrison Ford and Connery is perfect.
Dad! Oh, Dad! Oh, Dad! What?
It's easy to believe the two are father and son, as the elder repeatedly calls Indy Jr. to annoy him.
I came here to save you. Oh, yeah? And who's gonna come to save you, Junior? I told you!
The duo is a match made in cinematic heaven.
Don't call me Junior.
Number 2. Captain Marko Ramius, The Hunt for Red October.
A great day, comrades. We sail into history.
Ramius is one of the most conflicted on-screen characters we've ever seen. A Soviet submarine captain leading a standoff against the CIA, he keeps us guessing about whether he plans to attack or defect.
He's defecting. And he can't change his mind. He's not going to change his mind. You willing to bet your life on that?
Connery's poker face is just that good. It's a tense viewing experience you can't resist getting sucked into, no matter how many times you've seen this film. Besides, a Russian with a thick Scottish accent? Who else could make that work?
Anatoly, you're afraid of our fleet. Well, you should be. Personally, I give us one chance in 3. And more tea, anyway.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
They got some contest at school, this writing thing. You ever enter one of those?
Writing contest?
Yeah.
Once. A long time ago.
Did you win?
Well, of course I won.
Like money or something?
The Pulitzer.
This one, I grant you, did not commit suicide.
Don't you understand? I found a cure for the plague of the 20th century, and now I've lost it. Haven't you ever lost anything, Dr. Bronx?
Now, I've designed this like a collapsing bag. MacDougal here has agreed to man the wireless in order to give the Germans something to listen to. And all the padres and the medical staff have volunteered to stay behind as well. Now, the wounded, who are too bad to move, will replace the men firing. So our defense will seem as before. By the time the Germans find out what's happening, we should all be safely across the river. Pleasant journey.
Capt.
Number 1.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
James Bond, the James Bond series. We're not even going to attempt to debate who the best Bond is, but like any former 007 actor knows, this role is as good as it gets.
Who are you?
My name is Pussy Galore.
I must be dreaming.
James Bond is the quintessential cool guy spy that can't be played by any average Joe.
Shocking.
Connery almost didn't land the role, but after an impressive audition and some persuasion, he starred in 7 Bond films and set the gold standard for all super spies to come.
Good evening, sir.
Happens to be 3 a.m. When do you sleep, 007?
Never on the film's time, sir.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite Sean Connery performance? For more exceptional top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Make sure when your shift is over, you go home alive. Here endeth the lesson.